Have you ever seriously wondered how empires are actually built? I'm not talking about in some history book, but right now, today, in business, in tech, in wealth. It can feel like it's some kind of magic, but you know what? There's a practical roadmap. So let's just dive right in and break down what it really takes to build something massive, something powerful, and something that actually lasts.
And it all kicks off right here. Before a single brick gets laid, before $1 is even made, the entire thing, the whole shebang, has to exist as this crystal clear, totally unshakable vision inside your head. And look, that's not just some feel-good motivational quote, it is the architectural blueprint for everything that comes next.
So, here's our game plan. First up, we're talking about the Emperor's vision, that huge goal that fuels everything. Then we get into forging the founder, which is all about building you. After that, we'll cover laying the first bricks, turning that idea into a real thing. Then we'll get into how you scale that up into an empire. And finally, we're going to uncover the one single unbreakable rule that makes it all work.
Okay, our first stage is all about the sheer scale of your ambition. We are not talking about some small incremental improvement here. An empire is built on a goal that is so huge it probably sounds completely absurd to most people. It's a vision that goes way beyond just making money. It's about fundamentally changing the game.
I mean, just look at the scale of these visions. Elon Musk isn't just trying to build better cars. His goal is to make humanity a multi-planetary species. Ambani didn't just want to sell some phones. He set out to digitize an entire nation. These are massive, tectonic shifts. So the real question this slide is asking you is, what's your massive goal? What are you going to write in that blank space?
So once that huge vision is locked in, the focus has to turn inward, right? You just can't build a skyscraper on a shaky foundation. This whole section is about forging yourself into the kind of person who can actually pull off that massive goal.
And this right here illustrates the absolute non-negotiables. Getting up before the rest of the world, committing yourself to learning something new every single day, developing an almost monk-like focus, and, just as important, maintaining your physical strength. Why? Because energy is power, and trust me, you are going to need a ton of it. These are the personal systems you have to build first.
Okay, now let's talk about your toolkit. To build anything meaningful in the modern world, you need a very specific set of skills. So think of these 4 areas as your essential power tools. You got to understand money, you have to be able to leverage technology, you need to master people skills and leadership, and finally, you have to see the whole chessboard with strategic thinking.
All right, so the vision is clear, the founder is forged, now it's time to actually build. This is the stage where you translate all that internal work into external reality. It's about starting small and building that momentum, brick by brick.
And this slide just lays out that path perfectly. See, it's not a bunch of random events, it's a logical progression. It starts with one single idea that solves a real problem. That idea then becomes a startup. That startup starts generating profits, which you then reinvest into other assets, other businesses, until you eventually create a holding company. That's the structure of a modern empire.
Now we come to a critical truth, and it's one that trips up so many ambitious people. That image of the lone genius building an empire from their garage, it's a powerful myth, but let's be real, it's a myth. Building anything on this scale is fundamentally a team sport. You absolutely cannot do it by yourself.
So, how do you build this team, this alliance? Well, it's an active process. You have to intentionally go out and surround yourself with other builders and dreamers. You need to find mentors who've already walked the path so you can avoid their mistakes. You form alliances where 1 + 1 = 3. And here's the toughest one for any founder. You have to check your ego at the door and deliberately hire people who are way smarter than you are.
Okay, so we've laid the foundation, we've built the initial structure. Now it's time to scale. This is all about moving from just doing the work to multiplying the work, creating something that truly has a life of its own. So the crucial point here is this huge mental shift from effort to system. In the beginning, yeah, you are the engine. Your hustle is what makes everything go. But to scale, you have to build systems through automation, through delegation, through smart processes that run and grow even when you're not physically there. You've got to start working on the business, not just in it.
And this is the result when you get those systems right. Your income is no longer tied to just one source. It multiplies. It starts to flow in from your core business profits, from the returns on your investments, and from the intangible but incredibly powerful value of your brand. You know, this is the ultimate endgame. It's not just about building wealth for your lifetime, it's about building a legacy that actually rules time. Think about Apple without Steve Jobs, or Tesla's mission that will continue long, long after Elon Musk is gone. This is about creating value that lasts.
So we've covered the vision, the founder, the building, the scaling, but all of it, every single piece, rests on one single unbreakable principle. This is the operating system that runs the entire machine.
And here it is. The equation is actually pretty simple. Discipline equals destiny. That's the real secret sauce. What it means is that if you take daily, focused, consistent action towards that massive goal, well, success isn't just possible, it becomes inevitable. It's a force that's more powerful than luck, more powerful than where you came from, and more powerful than any temporary failure. So, if you only take one thing away from all of this, let it be this word right here: consistency. It's not about one single heroic effort. It's about showing up every single day, especially on the days you don't feel like it, and just laying one more brick. That is how empires are really built.
And that, of course, brings us to the final and, really, the most important question. After seeing the blueprint, after understanding the stages and that one unbreakable rule, the only thing left to ask is, are you ready to build?